Hey y'all, TamikiaTT here. I am at Universal with look who, Baby G. We're standing in line for this new ride here. We'll see if another one will come out behind me. But you can hear him screaming in the background. There you go. This Harry Potter ride. Sorry, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so I don't know what they all call, but this is the latest one. So the adventures continue. Been here for a little bit. Baby eight. Couldn't bring the stroller, so I got him in the carrier. And we're gonna do I'm here with my coworkers. We're gonna do a child swap situation. So while we stand in line, I get to carry Baby G and all his heaviness. All right. Talk to you later. Hey ladies, we survived the park. I didn't get a whole lot of pictures with Baby G. Most of the pictures I took were with my coworkers, which I'm not going to share here because I don't have their permission to put them on the YouTube channel. But you saw the clip earlier. We were getting on Hagrid's. I'll put it down here because I'm not a Harry Potter girl, so I don't know what the name of the ride is, but I'll put it down there. And we were in line for 2.5 hours. So fortunately, I packed the baby carrier because while the park does have child swap, you have to go through the line with the child, and they don't let you take the stroller. So you have to go through the line carrying the child or walking the child without a stroller. And then when you get like almost to the end, then you can go to do the child swap then. So we did that. That meant that I had to ride the roller coaster by myself, but I'm perfectly fine with that. For me, I can ride roller coasters all day, every day by myself. It's the line, the waiting in the line, that I need friends for. I'm sorry it's so dark. It's 10 o'clock. We're just heading home. We closed the second part. The second part closed at 7. And then we got something to eat. So now I'm on my way home. They're going to come over tomorrow to hang out with us at my house. And then I got my acupuncturist coming as well, so I'm going to do some acupuncture. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that was going on today. Baby G is sleeping in the back seat there. It's cold too. It's like 54 degrees outside. It was, I think the high today was only like 60, 61, something like that. So I made sure that I had my warm cover over the carrier. But that was really the only ride outside of the train, the Hogwarts Express, that took us from the Universal Park to Islands of Adventure. I only rode the 2 things. I didn't get to the park until probably like 2 o'clock. And then they were ready to eat, and I was ready to eat. So I sat down and I ate with them, and I ate and fed the baby. And then we got on the train. And then from the train, we went, I think they had to go to the bathroom, and we got some butterbeer. And then we got on the Hagrid's Magical Creatures ride. I think that's what it's called. And again, that line was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. So that was the last thing. My one coworker was focused on hitting all the Harry Potter items. They had been there. They opened the park. They were there at 9 o'clock this morning. So you know, they opened the park and closed the park. They did better than me because I can't even do that anymore. As much as I love amusement parks, but they hit all the Harry Potter stuff, and you just kind of closed it out with that one long ride, which was totally worth it. It was a really, really good ride. So that's it. I'm not going to hold you long. That's really all I have to report. Now I'm tired. I've had fettuccine alfredo, a whole lot of pasta, back and we're gonna lay down and go to sleep, honey, okay? I will say at dinner, I will say this, I had a first. Okay, so the camera cut off. I was trying to say I had a first. I got to breastfeed the baby while he was in the carrier. It's the first time I've ever done that. It was a little awkward. Fortunately, I was able to hold out until we got inside the castle. And camera's ending. I'm only getting 30-second intervals. Okay, now I got 15 seconds. We got inside the castle. It was a little dark, and then I was able to work it out for him. So that was the first. Hey ladies, TamikiaTT. Alright, so I tried to film this yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before yesterday. But my phone was running out of space. And usually it switches over to the internal storage, but it wasn't doing that. So anyway, the last clip you saw was of me and Baby G in the line for the Hagrid's roller coaster. So that was a 2.5-hour line, and I will say that thank you, Sandra, if and when you watch this, because when you came down here, you told me about the child swap and how you couldn't take the stroller and how the child had to go through the line. So because of that, and I couldn't remember if it was at Disney or Universal or both, but because of that, I packed my carrier, and the carrier is the only reason that I could stand in a 2.5-hour line for a ride with a 4.5-month-old baby. So thank you. So alright, the roller coaster was great. I have not stood in 3-hour lines many times in my life, but I have. I can only think of 2 other occasions. Once when I was in college, my girlfriend and I came down here to Orlando. This is while I was still living in Philadelphia. So I went to Drexel, she went to Temple, so we were both still in Philly. And we came down here for a vacation, and we stayed on Disney property, but we took a day to go to Universal. So the Spider-Man ride had just come out in Islands of Adventure, and we closed the park with that ride. So it was a 3-hour wait, and it was the first time either of us had rode something like that. And I mean, we talking 15 years ago, y'all. So that was great. The next time was, I was out of college then. My boyfriend at the time, you all have heard of him as what did I call him? Richard? I'll link the videos about our story anyway. But whatever I called him in the video, because I used a different name to protect his identity. But anyway, we went to this park in Virginia called King's Dominion, and they had this ride called the Extreme Launch Coaster, and I think it was new to the park as well, and that was also a 3.5-hour wait. The thing is, that was like a 3.5-hour wait for a 13-second ride. So it was totally worth it, but you know, when you're young, you do stupid stuff like that. Now that I'm about to be 40 in about a month and a half, not even a month and a half, a 2.5-hour wait in a line anywhere, especially with a almost 14-pound baby on your back or on your front, wreaked havoc on my lower back. So standing in that line all that time with the baby in the carrier, and then it's, mind you, it's not a structured carrier, it's a Catan. I have a Catan Breeze, and it holds its weight just fine. It held him the whole time. We stood in line so long, it was actually time to feed him again. So he woke up and got incredibly fussy. Fortunately, by the time he wanted to eat, we were at a point in the line where we were now on the inside and it was darker. So, let me get out this express lane. Hold on. So I think there's some extra tolls in that lane. Anyway, so I, for the first time, managed to feed him, breastfeed him while in the carrier. So I had not mastered that because he's not in the carrier that often, even in the house. But I had to master it that day. And so I managed to get him latched. I don't know how comfortable he was, but he was latched. He stayed latched. And he went back to sleep shortly after. But I think when he ate, I think we had like maybe another hour to go in the line. So that worked out well. That worked out really well. So we had a good time in Universal. They actually opened the park and closed the park, my friends there. I think my phone's getting too hot with the sun beating. But anyway, they actually closed the park. And I think my phone's getting too hot. Let me turn the charging off. So I got there. I didn't leave my house till about 12, which means I got there like 12:30, 12:40-ish. I was on the phone for a little while, so I sat in the parking lot talking on the phone to somebody, and then went on into the park. So, mind you, if you've ever been to Universal here in Orlando, you know it's a long walk from parking just to get to City Walk, and then you gotta walk from City Walk because they were in Universal at the time, and then it's a long walk from City Walk to Universal, and then they were in Zygon Alley, which is in the back of the park. So it was just a long walk to get to them. And let me tell you, I haven't had that much exercise since he was born. So let me tell you, my body hurt the next day. It hurt. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, they came to my house and hung out. So they came in the afternoon. I was up cleaning a little bit so I don't look like a complete slob when they come and visit. And then my acupuncturist was making house calls. So I got some acupuncture done, which she was able to do some extra points to help my lower back. Which when I first got up, I could barely walk to the bathroom, okay? So I went to bed with the heating pad on my lower back. That made it feel a little good because I was feeling stiff by the time we got home. And then when I got up to go to the bathroom, could barely walk, got back in the bed, put the heating pad on my lower back again. So by the time I got up again, I was feeling a lot better, could move a lot more than initially, but I was still paining me to, like bend over and stuff. So picking the baby up, putting the baby down was a bit of a struggle, but we survived. But anyway, Friday was great. We had the park. When we came out of Hager's Ride, the park was pretty much closing. We went and got something to eat, and then we all left. And then, like I said, I got up the next morning, cleaned up a little bit, had acupuncture. Then they came over shortly, and we kind of just sat and talked. And they were like, "What can we do? What do you need us to do?" And I'm like, "Just keep me company." And we just had good conversation, and they played with the baby and all that great stuff. And so that was that. So today is Sunday, and I met them for brunch at Kiki's breakfast. They came all the way over to my side to have brunch with me and the baby, and then now we're going back to their side to Disney Springs to hang out. So that's where we're on our way to now. Baby G, the top of his head felt warm, and when he had his 4-month vaccinations, he spiked a fever the next day, and it started with the top of his head being warm. So I was concerned that maybe he was starting to catch a fever, But so I went home, since we were close to my house. I went home to take his temperature and also grab the Tylenol just in case. And turned out no fever. Maybe it was just warm. It's a little cool here, or I should say it was earlier this morning. Looks like it's about 70 degrees now. And he might have been maybe warm because I have a warm cover over his carrier right now, so he's not cold. It's a little cold in the restaurant. So we're on our way to Disney Springs, and that's what's going on right now. I will check in a bit later and let you know how it goes. Okay. All right, ladies. Check in a bit.